Hi there, Sherry Schreiber of GettingBetter.com with another Naked Truth bathrobe monologue for you today. I alerted my Twitter followers that I would be speaking to Analysis Paralysis very soon, and I'm going to just wing it today. Nothing's prescripted here, but I'm hoping that I can come across as cogent and coherent and ask you to think more deeply about your life and how you get help for your life. First, I would like to thank my Twitter followers. They are enormously supportive and loving and caring and loyal. And gosh, this may sound strange to you, but really, my Twitter account and the people who climb on board and have the exceptional courage to follow me have given me a sense of community that I've honestly never had before. Really interesting. And I'm so grateful for that because I, by virtue of being who I am, live in a kind of isolated world. There are just not a lot of people in my world that relate to me. I'm sort of vibrating at a different frequency than they. Hang on, got a hair here. And it's sort of like living on top of a mountain and you don't have a lot of neighbors nearby. Metaphorically speaking. So I really appreciate my Twitter followers, and God bless you all. And God bless you for your recent support as I've gone through this fiasco with the California Board of Psychology. So that's the preface for today. I would like to speak to analysis paralysis. And what I mean by analysis paralysis is I think a lot of us grew up trying to figure out why we were so unhappy, why we had so much pain in our life. And in order to figure out why we were in pain, we had to go up into our heads and go searching for meaning and reasons why we were hurting, even from an age basically before we had vocabulary, before we could speak or walk. So perhaps as infants, before we became toddlers even, we were confused about this pain that we were in. And the natural inclination, I think, in all of us was to go, again, searching for reasons for that pain. And of course, an infant's mind can't adequately put together a cogent sense of why it's in pain, but it stays curious about it. So this starts from a very, very, very early age. This, why am I hurting? Why do I feel bad? And I've touched on this in one of my other videos. As we age, as we get older, we turn into adolescents. In our teenage years, maybe we go to a therapist. Our parents send us off to somebody to figure out why we're not conforming so much to the family's rules and regulations, why we're maybe rebelling, acting out the tension we feel in our home, why we're defiant, why we're angry a lot. And so we get shipped off to a therapist's office and we become the identified patient in that family unit. Something's wrong with us because we're not conforming the way our siblings do. We're not going along to get along. We're defying this rule we're under. I have a lot of adolescent rebellion left over. I had to live in a very controlled, confined, restricted environment when I was a teenager, and I was supposed to be forming a sense of self, different and apart from my parental units at the time. It was very repressed. So I have a lot of latent adolescent rebellion in me, and I think it saved my life. Surrendered it for a while, had a breakdown at 20. Wanted to jump off a tall building, end my pain, but was lucky enough to land with a good psychiatrist in the state of Michigan, where I was visiting for a while. In any case, by the grace of God, he didn't help me analyze my pain. He just kept asking me a pointed question, and I got really mad at him one day because I kept answering that question in the way that had meaning to me, but that he, somehow in his infinite wisdom, knew was the door to my denial. Analysis paralysis. Have you noticed that when you feel empty inside, unhappy, discontent, you can't always find an easy, good reason to pin it on? And when you do find an easy, good reason to pin it on, oh, I'm unhappy because of such and such, then it doesn't evacuate or eradicate that pain for you. And when it doesn't eradicate that pain for you, gaining that insight into why you think you're unhappy or discontent, that you go back into your head and search for another reason to apply to that pain that you are in. Have you ever noticed this? Well, if that insight wasn't the key to helping me understand my pain and eradicating my pain so that I could just kind of put it on a chalkboard and say, that's the reason I'm unhappy, that you have to find another reason. And if that one doesn't work to help resolve this pain inside of you that is cellular in your body, that you have to keep searching for reasons to attach to your unhappiness. Have you ever noticed this? And so it's really an endless journey of mental masturbation to assign meaning and reasons to this agony that you have to live with daily, or at the very least, episodically. And so you keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result, expecting if you could just find the key that unlocks the door to give you insights into your pain, in your body, that all will be well, that pain will just evaporate for you. How's that worked for you so far? Really, how has that worked for you so far? Psychotherapy believes that if we can just figure out and isolate the reasons you're in pain, that what pain will disappear. It's just going to go bye-bye. It's not going to bug you anymore. It's not going to bother you anymore. You don't have to obsess about it. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to cogitate on it. You don't have to wonder about it. You don't have to be bothered by it anymore. You can be free of that pain if you just find the right key to figuring out why you're in pain. Well, in my view, that's magical thinking. Besides, as I've always asserted, what you have is a heart issue. You need heart surgery. Now, if you needed a valve replacement, God forbid, in your heart, you had a bad valve, or you had clogged arteries in your heart, you needed bypass surgery, would you be going to a brain surgeon to consult about potentially operating on your heart? And yet millions of people do. It's miraculous. I have a heart problem, but I'm going to go to a brain surgeon and talk about it and see if they can perform this surgery for me. You cannot heal the heart. You cannot heal the soul by going through the brain. It never has worked. It never will work. And I said this in my recent hearing up against the California State Board of Psychology, under whose jurisdiction I don't even fall. But they have some kind of statute that I think was recently implemented that says if you are in any way changing people's perceptions, emotions, behaviors, thoughts, you are practicing psychology and you are subject to fines and or imprisonment. I wonder if anybody's come after Tony Robbins. Such absurdity. It's such insanity to me. So you can analyze the shit out of your pain. You can attach myriad reasons to your pain. But is it going to resolve that pain? Is it going to make the pain inside your core, deep down inside your center, go away? Will it shrink it? Will it alleviate it? Just knowing what's causing your pain, gaining great insights about that? I doubt it. Because if that were true, people like me couldn't earn a living. We couldn't have earned a living of any kind. Hundreds of thousands of life coaches that are out there on the planet that are actually helping people transform their lives couldn't earn a living. They'd have no client base. Way back when I was a psychotherapy intern, working out my hours under my supervisor's licensure. And I did a full 6 or 7 year internship We ran overtime a little. But headed in my hours, started my testing phase to take my state board licensing exams. Whenever, during the course of time that I was an intern, whenever I'd hand my psychotherapy card to somebody, it was a pretty card. It was textured peach-colored bond with raised black lettering, and it said psychotherapy on it. And it had my supervisor's name and license number, and had my intern number on it. It stated very clearly I was an intern because I'm not a lawbreaker. Whenever I would hand that psychotherapy card to someone that I met, and this is without fail, they would look at it and they'd say, "Oh, you're a psychotherapist. I always thought psychotherapists were a little crazy." There apparently exists a stigma about that field of endeavor where the public at large has gotten the feeling and the impression that people who work in that profession aren't totally sane. And some of my recent experiences, you might say, have validated that. But this invariably happened when I'd give somebody that card that said psychotherapy on it. It was amazing. So when I had to get out of my supervisor's office, he's a wonderful guy, by the way, Dr. Stephen Johnson. When I had to get out of his office and just sort of punt and go through my state board licensing exams over and over and over and over again because I have attention deficit issues, and boy, I'm not a good test taker. I didn't see where abandoning my clients was a useful or fair thing to do. So I made up a business card and it said Sherry Schreiber, Life Strategist, and I made my clients sign a waiver that whatever help they received from me during those times that I was in that in-between cycle that help was not the consequence of working with a state licensed clinician. Whatever gains they made, they were absolutely informed, and they signed these papers before I'd work with them, that they were not working with a licensed professional. To achieve their aims. I've always done things by the book. I really have. My mother and father were highly integrous people. My father was honest to a fault. And this apple didn't fall far from that tree. I think I'm going to get rid of the background noise with all the birds creating somewhat of a cacophony for me here today in my backyard. Okay, that's going to help. Hang on, let me get seated again. So I've gotten off on some tangents here today, which is sort of part and parcel of my ADD aspects. But this analysis paralysis is sort of like you're always in your head trying to figure out why you're in pain. You're ashamed of that pain. You didn't grow up among people who expressed their feelings, cried in front of you, were honest about their feelings, allowed you to be honest with yours. If you looked sad or you were crying, somebody might in your home have said, snap out of it. Or if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. When you go, quite frequently, to a therapist's office, don't they give you a reason to cry about? Don't they climb on board with you, help you analyze why you're in pain? Don't they take archaeological journeys with you and keep digging until they can help you find, at long last, the source of your pain? As if you hadn't gotten good at that yourself over the course of many years. Analysis paralysis. You can't find peace. You cannot find centering. You think you can once you find the source of your problem. Once you get to the source of your agony, you think that you will feel more peaceful and serene and happy if you can just isolate why you're in so much pain. But has that ever really worked for you? Or have you just put it on a shelf, categorized it? Okay, whenever I feel this pain in my body, that's the real reason. And what does that give you? So I worked very, very differently than this. Somebody came to me in pain. I said, I don't give a fuck what you think your pain is connected to. I don't give a fuck about it. We're just going to shrink that pain. We're going to heal that pain. We're going to go straight to the heart. We're not going to go through the head to fix it. I'm going to teach you breathing techniques. I'm going to teach you self-soothing techniques so that you can stop fearing that pain, dreading that pain, judging that pain as wrong or bad. That's what I'm going to do for you. Doesn't fucking matter why you think you're in pain. What matters is that we're going to heal it right here, right now. It's going to take a little while, but we're going to heal it. If you went to a doctor and you said, doctor, I have this terrible pain in my stomach. I've had it for months, years even. Would you want that physician to ask you all kinds of questions about that pain endlessly? Or would you want that physician to know how to heal that pain? Oh, he's going to do a preliminary check-in with you, like, what kinds of foods are you eating? How long has this pain been here? When did it first start? Perhaps. But you're going to want to have the confidence. He or she knows how to heal that pain, or at least start shrinking it, aren't you? That's what I would want. I got a foot problem. My right metatarsal bothers me. I'm going to go see a doctor about it. I don't want him asking me endless questions and taking a mental journey with me about that pain in my metatarsal. I want him to expertly go about healing it, fixing it, maybe even doing surgery on it. I'm not interested in why I'm in pain in my foot. I want to go to an expert who knows how to do something about it. I am not saying that psychotherapy doesn't have a purpose. and good reasons to exist. I'm not saying that at all. I think psychotherapy can be extraordinarily helpful. Really extraordinarily helpful for helping you resolve speed bumps you hit in your life, certain struggles and trials and tribulations. I think talking about our pain to somebody helps us see it and hear it more clearly. I do. I really do. But when it comes to long-standing pain that's been there lifelong to one degree or another, that's been unresolvable, that's been unfixable, that's been unshrinkable, no matter how many years you've been in treatment, I think we have to consider that perhaps at least a different paradigm might be what's needed. And I invented a different paradigm years ago because I wanted to thrive and I wanted to figure out how to do that. Survival is great. I mean, if you've learned how to survive, more power to you. You're doing great. But have you learned how to thrive? Have you learned how to stop beating up on yourself? Have you learned how to resolve and shrink and heal your shame that continues to sit in your core and make you believe that you're unlovable and not good enough? Have you fixed that in psychotherapy? Even if you understand the reasons why you carry this shame, has it made the shame go away? So I'm trying to help you understand the difference, the quintessential difference between analysis paralysis, this ongoing thing you like to do in your head, in relation to the pain inside your body, and what is needed to truly heal. This is Easter Sunday. It is also April Fool's Day. And I truly, sincerely hope you can have a wonderful, nourishing, relaxing weekend. And you can cut yourself some slack. And you can stop trying to analyze your pain, but start being interested in trying to heal it. I have videos online which give you those tools. And perhaps you can get a head start and start resolving this pain for yourself while you're searching for a competent person who can give you tools to build self-worth and hold your feet to the fire and make sure you work hard to do that. Again, those tools are available in my video. Start with quit being hard on you. These are tools I invented and developed in my 20s for me. Because I didn't want to just survive, I wanted to thrive. That was my aim in life. To get well and healthy and healthy and vibrant and happy and content. That's what thriving meant to me. And I was successful in reaching that aim. So I want to give you tools to help you be successful in reaching that aim as well. God bless you all, and bye for now.